I got Joe Mixon. All right, so like that 14-0 lead, poof, Matt Castle. It's gone. That's a Burrow touchdown. But wait, so much action left. Fourth quarter, still 14-all. Jags, did they give up and roll over? No. Jimmy Robinson, his second touchdown of the night. They had to look at it. No, they called it a TD. So Jacksonville does not follow. This kid's like, we're going to lose to the Jags. We love you, kid. And you got the Joe Burrow jersey. What's he doing right now? You know what he's doing. I don't have to ask. CJ Uzomah. Right up there with death and taxes. Got it. CJ, go. How about it, Matt?
Oh, huge play. 3rd and 4 right there. Scramble to get open, uncover.
That guy loves it. Guys, do you want a little more CJ Uzomah? Because we have some more. Guys, if you don't know CJ Uzomah, he's been around forever. Like, he's there since 2015. He was a guy they drafted out of Auburn. He's not a new player. This is the biggest game of his life. That is a new player. That's Evan McPherson, a kicker they drafted in the fifth round. And why? Because of that. What a breathless evening in Cincinnati. 24-21, a walk-off kick, a great game. Unsung, unlikely heroes and star quarterbacks, 24-21. Bengals, 3-1. Joe Burrow with the Thursday night crew. Joe, shoot us straight now. Is this the team different from last year? Let us know.
You know, we're a completely different team from last year. We would have folded under the pressure tonight if this game was last year, and I'm just so proud of our guys.
Why do you believe last year you guys would have folded under pressure and this year you didn't?
It's really the culture in the locker room. Zach does a great job of preaching every day, having a connected team, and we brought in some great free agents that, you know, are really, really hard workers and from winning teams that have come in and really taught us how to win.
Big night for Cincinnati. Happy wearing my Joe Burrow sweatshirt. LFG, thank you for sending this to me. LFG Cincy. They get to 3-1. Schrager, I like that Burrow's talking about Zach Taylor. I asked you about him, the influence he's had over these past couple seasons and what he's done to turn around a team and now a fan base that is genuinely so excited about what's ahead. What did you take away from this big primetime comeback win?
Yeah, this team is resilient, and they have now had 2 different games that are down 14 points, and they end up being the victors in them. But it all came down to the 4th-and-1 play. Let's get to it here. End of the first half, the Jaguars are rolling. They can't be stopped. They decide to go for it. 4th-and-1. Logan Wilson, we'll get more on him. And Big Larry O. They make the stop, and it totally changes things. They come down, they get a first score to start the third quarter, and the game has shifted. But this was everything. Let me tell you these numbers here. Down 21 points at the half, teams have lost 104 straight games. 21 at the half. This would have made it 21 at the half. Teams do not win being down 21 at the half. When you're down by 14 at the half, the last 65 games, it's been 4-61. We'll make it 5-61.
Yeah.
They found a way.
That's awesome.
And this isn't the first time a 4th-and-1 has changed things. They also did it against the Vikings. Let's go to this. 4th-and-1 against the Vikings, and Zach Taylor's like, we're down 14. Let's go for it. They get it, and they rally to score 14 straight points after this 4th-and-1 attempt to then tie that game and eventually win in overtime. They are living dangerously in these games, but they are winning these games. And Zach Taylor is putting the faith in both the offense and the defense to say, we can do it. And once they make those stops, the catalyst has been started. I'm excited about the Bengals. It's been forever since they've always had teams that were relevant. Now they're fun, and they're playing strong. And in these 4th-and-1 situations, they are finding ways to not only turn the tide, but then to win these games. They're no longer your lovable losers. The Bengals are here.
So you're excited for them. Are you willing to say anything else? Are we just excited and we're watching it as it goes? Or do we look at them as AFC North, sort of? Like, are we, if we're other teams in the AFC North, are we nervous about them?
Hell yeah, you are.
Yes. I think so. The quarterback was moving. They look good, and they're 3-1 in a division where Steelers, we're not sure, and then Browns and Ravens. It's not an easy out anymore. Like, I was always like, okay, we got the Bengals. We'll see it.
What do you think?
You know what? I think that the big turning point in this game was really coming out at halftime, right? When Joe Burrow came out, they're down 14-0. We always talk about shifting the momentum. At the end of that half, in the first half, right, they take the knee, and then they also try to do the quarterback sneak, but they come right out here in the third quarter to start, and he hits Jamar Chase down the sideline on a perfect throw, and that really changed the field position. Then he comes back 2 plays later on the boot and hits Uzman. And at this point, and now he takes it in. Well, that right there gives that team confidence, right? It's now 14-7. Now you're putting the pressure back on Jacksonville. And it was incredible to watch Joe Burrow and this offense and how he was able to orchestrate this offense throughout the second half, right? They went down, they scored on every possession of the second half. Touchdown, 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 field goal. And that's what they needed, because in the first half, they were dormant, right? They had four first downs the entire first half.
They barely had the ball.
They barely had the ball. They had 4 first downs. They couldn't get anything going, and they're behind. So they needed that momentum shift right there, and Joe Burrow was able to step up with some big-time throws and a great possession for them.
Wasn't that throw to Chase just like exactly what they needed? You felt the tension come out of the stadium at the time. And look, you hear we're going to change the culture, we're going to change this, change this. Sometimes it's more than a win that you need to do that. It's Friday. Let's bring in a Good Morning Football. We do a segment now every week where we pick one team we think is going to win. It's a survival segment. It's competitive. We want to do it. You can pick anybody. We were up there doing it yesterday, and this is the team of all the teams in the league that I picked. I'm going to go in prime time and take the Cincinnati Bengals at home tonight against the winless Jaguars. I am going in. They did lose to the Bears a couple weeks ago. They're home. They're in prime time. Showcase game. So I will go Bengals one more time. Week 4 survival. So this is why I bring this up, because the Bengals get down 14-0, and everyone is coming out saying, you're an idiot. Don't you know these are the Bengals? Never count on the Bengals. Never trust the Bengals. Don't you know about the Bengals in prime time? And I'm like, I think I do. I know they lost some primetime games. I don't know if you do know this. Bring up the worst Cincinnati. Look at that. That's worst primetime records in football over the last 15 seasons. 9-24, and that's after a win. By the way, the second worst is Jacksonville. How many times have you seen an Andy Dalton team or any other Bengals quarterback go out in prime time when there's excitement and they're home? The air all goes out of the balloons. So when people were sending me gifs of Jeff Probst putting torches out and stuff like that, the Bengals saw them and said, screw you guys, this is not the same Bengals team. Sometimes you need something else other than wins to change it. A primetime win when everybody gave up on you was a massive, massive thing. Huge night for the Bengals.
And now, of course, Logan Wilson did his thing. 10 tackles, 1 sack. He's got 3 interceptions. It's a breakout season for the young linebacker out of Wyoming, who I love, and it's all fine and dandy. We don't have to look at these highlights, so it's not really what I want to talk about, but I do love this kid, and I do think he's having a tremendous season, and I like this defense a lot more in the second half than the first half. But now this team, Matt, is sitting at 3-1, and they're not only first in the AFC North, they are second place in the AFC overall. I know they're probably not going to stay there. I'm not an actual idiot, but I want to ask you if you think that you could see them as a contender for the playoffs, in the playoffs.
I definitely think that this team, as long as they continue to progress and continue to get better with the leadership of Joe Burrow, the young talent that they have on the outside, the defense is playing better. I mean, this is definitely a team that could potentially be in the playoffs this year.
What do you need to see from them? Like, what should I be looking for? You're family in Cincinnati. Right. I've embraced this team. I really like them. I really like the fan base. They're genuinely excited. They're happy with what they're seeing, and I think they deserve it after so many years of being at the bottom. What do I need to be looking for these next couple weeks? Well,
I think for Joe Burrow, he's playing so well, and I said this to you earlier, right? I was like, this kid really continues to impress me.
Yeah, it's a great story for the country.
He's an outstanding quarterback. He delivers the ball. He knows where his matchups are. He looks very good and comfortable in this Zach Taylor offense. And then not only that, but his ability to get outside the pocket and create plays when needed. But he's the guy that's going to be able to catapult this team forward and continue to push them to the next level, because they're going to go as he goes, right? If he goes and shows up like he did in the second half last night and continues to utilize those weapons, they're going to continue to score points, and then it's just a matter of whether or not this defense can hold off these opponents long enough and keep them to a minimum.
Jacksonville's now lost 19 straight games going back to last year.
Yes, they have.
19 straight?
19 straight. It's amongst one of the worst streaks ever. This game last night, this is when losing teams find ways to lose. When you're up 14-0 at the half and a field goal makes it 17 points and you can go in there with a 3-score lead, you try to get cute, you go for it, you don't get it. Finding ways to lose is something that losing. This is what Trevor Lawrence has up against him, because Trevor Lawrence last night looked really good.
He did look good.
He made some incredible throws, but this is what it is as a rookie quarterback going to the worst team in the league.
Let's talk about those Jags with Ian Rappaport, our NFL Network insider, joining this morning with some headlines. We've got highlights. We will set you guys up for a Sunday slate of action. But Jaguars wide receiver DJ Chark was carted off the field last night in the first half of this one. What is the latest with him? And then, hey, while we have you, how about you figure out a couple quarterback situations for me? Ravens, Bears specifically? Go for it.
Well, we'll start with the unfortunate situation surrounding DJ Chark, one of the best players on the Jaguar, young up-and-coming receiver in a contract year. He is expected to be now out for this season. He suffered a fractured ankle last night. My understanding is surgery is the most likely option for Chark. That should happen sooner rather than later, and then out indefinitely. You're seeing he got rolled up right there, carted off. We knew immediately it was serious, didn't quite know how serious until a little bit afterward. Devastating injury for DJ Chark there. Meanwhile, in some other news, since you mentioned the quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson did not practice yesterday for the Baltimore Ravens. A little bit of a surprise, just dealing with what offensive coordinator Greg Roman called a flare-up of a back injury. This was described to me on Wednesday as general soreness. Nothing much to worry about, nothing alarming. I would expect Lamar Jackson back at practice today for the Baltimore Ravens, and then to play on Sunday. No one I've talked to is alarmed at all, so this should be fine. Maybe just giving Lamar a little extra rest considering how much work he does on Sundays. And then, of course, the intriguing quarterback situation. The Chicago Bears, they still have not yet named a starter, nor has any quarterback spoken to the media yet. That should happen today. I would expect some sort of announcement or decision from the Bears. Is it going to be Andy Dalton back at practice the last 2 days, still trying to come back from a bone bruise? Would be a little quick for him to come back, although still theoretically possible. The fact that his practice has been good. Is it Justin Fields still battling a hand injury? Or even third stringer and former Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles, all in the conversation for the Bears.
All in the mix. Maybe it gives them some sort of competitive advantage to have to prepare for 2-3 quarterbacks on Sunday, but dicey. Thank you so much, Ian. I got to tell you, I was walking down the hall this morning. I was eating my donut, and I heard that you just need to know this. I hear Wall Streeters might be coming back today.
What?
I'm not sure.
What?
If you don't know, you know.
True?
Yeah, Ian, you know, we're close to Wall Street kind of down here, and there's these two imbeciles who come over and scream sometimes about what teams they should invest in. Trent and Jarrett, they're back?
Trent and Jarrett, I didn't see them with my own eyes, Ian, but I heard that maybe they were, like, spotted somewhere downstairs, roaming the hallways.
Did you hear them?
They've been out all night, I heard. Their ties are already loose and, like, wrapped around their heads. It's Friday.